What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer taking a look at the Cyber-Stein FTK deck profile. Yes, it is 56 cards, which I know it's like either you play 40 or 60, but I don't know. I like where this deck is at 56 cards. I don't think it matters that much, anyways, but yeah, I know it's a little untraditional to see something like this, but it's not really a pile deck. It's just the idea is that you don't want to draw any of your bricks, which I realistically don't even know how many bricks there are. There are just some better cards than others. I'd say this deck's probably like 80 to 90% consistent, which is insane for an FTK. But you either want to draw a hand trap plus your combo or cross out designator in a combo. And this deck does that really, really, really well. So we'll go ahead and get into it. This is all our cross out targets. You literally need everything in the book. And it's also, I guess, just decent in case you draw them for hand traps. But Nibiru, Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre, DD Crow, all of them. All of them are pretty insane. And I guess you could also add Imperm, which you definitely probably want to. I don't see it in my list right now. So Imperm could also be added to this list. So this is technically what? A 57 card list, and I know I'm pretty close there. There we go. I'll just put it right here. And then we'll go through the rest of the cards here. One Cyber-Stein. I wish this card was at 3, because then I feel like it would be very easy to complete this deck profile, because I would just play more of these, because a single Cyber-Stein is full FTK, which is awesome. That it's just cool. I don't know. Not that... Depending on it, like your opponent won't think it's cool, but it's cool for you if you like playing this deck. Malicious is part of that. Malicious is just really good in this deck because it's amazing to pitch off of Torn Scales, which is like one of the biggest improvements from my original deck profile. This version is way more consistent, but there's just a lot more synergy. This used to be so dead in the hand, but now it's like really not that bad. Dark Referide is like really good depending on if you have like Cyber-Stein in your hand, although I guess you don't really need it. There are some niche situations where this isn't terrible. It's also a Dark 4. It really does do a lot for your deck, honestly. Armageddon Knight usually sends Cyber-Stein. 3 Goblin Durg. This one's, I don't know. This is like one of the really like high impact cards. Because if it gets stopped, it all depends on the hand, obviously, but this can be pretty bad if this gets like Ash or Imperm, not Ash. If it gets Imperm, like Effect Veilered. But it is a warrior. It does bring something else out with it. Like, it's just kind of too important, I guess. The best play starter in the deck, Neospace Connector, because you potentially get to, rip a card from your opponent's hand. It produces 2 bodies on its own. Lots of good stuff there. Really good play starter for Isold. 3 Blue Mountain Butter Spy. This is a really great extender. When you normal summon a warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not a once per turn. Really cool. There's lots of normal summons in the deck, and even if you don't have a normal summon, quote unquote, but you have Junk Forward, you can still normal summon it, right? You don't have to use the effect of Junk Forward to special. It all just depends on the other cards that you have, but this card is one of my favorite in the deck for how great of an extender it is. Ancient Cloak with the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales and then the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots here. This card is crazy. It's a 1-card FTK, which is just... Didn't think I'd be saying that, but it definitely is. None of these cards are terrible to get in your hand because you could also, like I said, have Butter Spy, and then you can just normal summon this trigger, right, and this gets into the graveyard. You can add, whatever the case may be. You can maybe add the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, or somehow you can get to the Shade Brigadier, a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do. A couple of copies of Silent Boots because the card is actually that good. Although you could probably throw this to 1. It's not bad to pitch off of. Like, there's a few niche situations, and normal summoning is never bad because you can get to something like Shade Brigadier faster. 1 copy of Renaud. It's a part of your combo here with Cyber-Stein. Vylon Sphere, way better than Vylon Cube. Like, it just makes the process, the FTK, so much easier. Fireflint Lady is a 1-of Searcher, so obviously in the deck you have to be able to send a bunch of equip spells to the graveyard. So I tried to maximize the usability out of these, and you have to play at least 2, which I'll explain. But you can equip something like Infernoble Knight Durandal, and this is a free warrior extender to go into Isold. So of the 4 equip spells that you are playing, obviously you have to play Telekinetic Charging Cell to make the FTK possible, but This one is good because it's an extender, and this one's also good because it's an extender. And there's also one flex spot with White Veil. You don't have to run Phoenix Blade or anything like that. You don't have to worry about discard fodder. That's not really part of the whole combo there. But you have to play multiples of these because if you draw one, then you would just lose, right? You don't want to lose if you draw a card. Especially when you're playing an FTK, like, you don't want to be the reason you lose. If your opponent has a bunch of hand traps, you don't have any way to fight through it, then, you know, that's a different story. But I refuse to be the reason why I lose, like, a duel. That just sucks. But that's, you know, that's where Fire Flame Lady comes, because you get to search a level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster, which could also be Renan, you know, but mostly it's going to be this, because it's just a free body. Reinforcement of the army searches the Phantom Knights of Tornscales. Sky Striker Engage kind of goes along with Hornet Drones. If you can believe it, that token is a warrior. That's its only usability. You know, Foolish Burial, not too bad, because it can send, you know, Malicious. You never know really anything else, but most of the time it's probably going to be Malicious. You can send it as an extender, or you can send Boots, whole bunch of stuff. Monster Reborn is just decent in this deck, because if you only have 2 warrior monsters, you can just bring one back to do the full combo. Called by the Grave should be no surprise with the 3 crossout designator. You know, the 2 Living Fossil I talked about, the 2 Durandal, 2 White Veil, and the 2 Telekinetic Charging Cell. To go along with 3 Evenly Matched, kind of like a powerful going second card. If you just need to stop your opponent, right? If you can just prevent them from doing, you know, whatever the case may be, then you can just do your FTK. You don't have to worry about what's going on in their field. So I feel like it's necessary. Maybe want to take this out and make it more consistent, quote unquote, but I want to give myself more chances to win more duels. And then the 3 Shade Brigadine. It's going on into the extra here. The burn package. So Wind Witch Crystal Bell. I don't really understand how this card is even legal. The 2 Blaze Phoenix, non-once per turn burning, so it's going to burn your opponent for the rest of the damage. Ancient Gear Howitzer also helps with that. 1,000 damage to your opponent. This is Destiny Hero Dangerous. It's part of the 1-card FTK, you know, with Cyber-Stein there. Sea Monster Thesis. This is, you know, helps you get a tuner so you can go into Ally Fibrax. And Independent Nightingale, which does burn damage, which ends up being copied by Crystal Bell, but it burns for a whole lot more because it's a rank 8. Going on here into Zeus. So there's only 3 flex spots in the deck. Everything else is absolutely mandatory, like, to play, basically. So, like, Zeus, I go with number 70. It's a random tech card, but it could definitely help you, potentially. And also the Virtual World Shell Jaja. So it just protects it from being destroyed by battle. That's really the only reason. You have rank 3s and rank 4s in the deck. You don't really have much else. Number 60 is part of the FTK. Okay, Access Code Talker. I sold, obviously. Crystal Holly Fibrax, and then the Reproducus to kind of, you know, round this all out. It's a lot to take in. I recommend you watching the gameplay video, and maybe I'll even do a step-by-step combo tutorial, slowing down the FTK a little bit more, doing some more test hands to kind of show you how it works. If you're interested, I don't know if it would, but if you've watched this far, I guess you probably don't mind playing FTKs, even though your opponent's going to hate you. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.